Quack, quack. Here we are again back on the Ducks in a Row podcast. I'm your host, Miranda Stover, alongside
Kayla.
Honest.
Serena.
And today we are going to be talking about the Super Bowl halftime shows, most notably for the entertainment it provides during the long intermission, but there are also conflicts with these shows. The main thing to state is the backlash against certain music artists and band. So today we're going to be going into depth about the controversy of the upcoming 2026 Super Bowl performer Bad Bunny. So Bad Bunny is the one that's performing at the Super Bowl. What do you guys think about that? I actually don't really know him. I know practically nothing about him, but what do you guys think?
I mean, I know a little bit about him. I've heard his name before. He was in Happy Gilmore too, so that's all I really know about him. I mean, I've heard his name around, but nothing really super like, oh, I've never listened to his music, so not much, but just enough.
Same with Kayla. I've only heard like one song that he was featured in. I've heard of his name. Same thing, kind of thing.
I mean, I didn't really know much of him other than Happy Gilmore too. But I have listened to a few of his songs, and they're not so bad. I don't think it's a bad thing that he's performing.
So, one of the big controversies is that Bad Bunny has openly stated that he is an ally of the LGBTQ, even have won a GLAAD, which is a Gay and Lesbian Alliance Against Defamation Vanguard Award in 2023. The reward helped him, it showed his allyship and powerful impact that he has had on the LGBTQ community. But one of the concerns is that people are stating that he has issues with being gender queer, so he's outspoken that he's straight, but he's also dressing up not straight, I guess. I think that's the issue. What do you guys think about that?
I mean, I think a lot of people, I've heard people be upset, saying it's queer baiting and whatnot. But I mean, I think a lot of people dress how they dress. I mean, I think it's good that he's a supporter and an ally because it's important that people stand up for people like the LGBTQ community who just face a lot of controversy and backlash. So I think it's important.
I think it shouldn't really matter if he's an ally of the LGBTQ community for him to have to perform in the Super Bowl at all.
I mean, I think this whole thing is gender stereotypes. I mean, if the man wants to wear a dress, let him. Boo hoo. Like, what's the big deal, honestly? And supporting the LGBTQ, I mean, come on. Like, the Supreme Court has already said that gay marriage is okay. Get over it already. It's a thing. You got to deal with it.
So, Serena, you did some research about backlash he's been receiving about performing. Can you tell us a little bit about what you found?
Yeah, he received backlash because he's not American enough, basically, and people want people who are speaking English to be singing. And also, there was problems with the fact that he's not singing country music, and a lot more people are wanting people who sing country music to be performing as well. So that seems to be the big problem: is him not being American enough and not singing country music.
See, I don't fully see that myself because I mean, I like country music, but I mean, it's not always a big bop, I will say. When it comes to a huge performance, I'm not into country as much. Kayla, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I think with country music, since the Super Bowl is pretty much a one artist show, I think that with country music, I mean, it's gonna be hard to find one artist that's gonna keep millions of people entertained while still singing country music. I mean, I think just pop, rap, R&B, they're providing a more based performance than country, where I find it all sounds they kind of sound the same, especially if you're doing one artist.
Personally, for me, as someone who sometimes listens to country, that's the type of music I listen to when I'm just downright feeling kind of sad. Not gonna lie, I would be sitting down in my room and I'll be like, "This is it. This is the I feel like I'm driving a truck right now, kind of vibe. What do you think?"
Also feel like country music would not be the only thing that's underrepresented, as there's music like folk, jazz, rock. I mean, you can't just say country music is underrepresented, and that's not the only American music. Rock is just as American, jazz is just as American. So yeah.
I am so sad about the representation of rock music not being in halftime shows because I'm telling you, those are bops, big bops. Can we get more of that? What would you want to see?
Probably hip hop and R&B, really. But at the same time, with back to the country music thing, you can't like kind of what Kayla said, like one artist isn't really gonna work, and then there's also people who don't like country music, and then that'd be another big thing that they don't want to hear country music at the Super Bowl.
I feel like a lot of the recent artists that have been coming up are kind of more for like up and coming people. And I know Kayla did some research about that. So can you tell us a little bit of what you found, or like who would you like to see in the Super Bowl? Yeah, I mean, for sure, like the Super Bowl, I know a lot of people like going off country, like Morgan Wallen and like people like Taylor Swift, but it definitely is reserved for more people who need more publicity than they currently have. I mean, the Super Bowl performers don't get paid explicitly by the NFL to perform at the Super Bowl. Their trip is all expenses paid and their hotel and like flight and everything, but other than that, it's really just a big publicity thing. I mean, people face like so much just increase in just sales, merchandise, albums, just music in general. They get so many more sales based off the Super Bowl because so many people watch it. And for a lot of people, like if it was your first time hearing Bad Bunny or Rihanna or Kendrick Lamar, you might think, "Oh, I like this sound. I'm going to go check it out." So it's a big benefit for up and coming artists as opposed to big artists who already have, all those sales. Yeah, I completely understand that. Is there like a certain artist you would actually like really want to play at the Super Bowl? I always say Charlie XCX because I feel like it'd be very entertaining, but I don't know how the rest of America would feel about that.
I would say like maybe Ariana Grande, but she's also like already kind of up there, like with the Wicked movie as well. She's already kind of like really popular, basically.
I mean, really, my first choice would be the Crane Wise, but that's a little niche. So probably Sabrina Carpenter. I know. Sabrina Carpenter, get enough of her already, but she does have really good performance. So
People are probably wondering, will people enjoy his performance? Honesty, take it away.
I did like some research and watched a couple videos, and people are like wondering if the audience will actually want to hear him perform and if they'll join in, like singing some of the lyrics if they know them, or like cheering when he even comes out, or sometimes with slow songs use their flashlights, just like swing it back and forth.
Yeah, I can see that. I think some people will enjoy it and some people won't. I think people that are like the Puerto Rican people, probably would like it more because it's talking about like culture and stuff and it's like in their language. So I think they would prefer the to watch his performance over us Americans, but I guess it kind of depends on the people too. Some people aren't culturally diverse or aren't accepting to that kind of stuff. I personally think the Super Bowl can be a very important thing for people because it gives the chance for singers to perform in front of a live audience and express their music. Some people and some singers like Bad Bunny are not able to represent their culture to Americans. And I feel like the entire thing can be a really great way of representation to who a person really is.
I think the features are definitely important because people people like the Super Bowl is definitely a household name. I mean, people look forward to the Super Bowl often. I mean, I know in my family and most other families, I'm assuming, it's a bit of a tradition. I mean, we have a Super Bowl party every year. We watch the games leading up to the Super Bowl. There's a lot of suspense around it. The Super Bowl is a big deal. I personally like the halftime show and the more entertainment aspect of it more. So I think it's important just to talk about it because so many people like it. It's a big part of some people's winter and something they look forward to, especially during the months of February where it can get a little bleak.
I agree with Kayla, like that it's a household type of tradition thing, but also like the in person type of thing. If I don't know, this probably is like wrong, but I think that maybe if some people don't like the halftime performance, they might just like watch it from home instead of actually going in person, and they could probably maybe lose some money due to that because people aren't like paying to come watch or go inside to see at all.
I mean, this is important because, yeah, millions of people watch it and they discuss it. And I mean, by having someone like Bad Bunny perform, you can bring like other people together, like people who are Puerto Rican and Latin and all that type of stuff. And like they can understand the music actually instead of just having it be American, because music, I mean, Spanish is a big big language that's spoken, and music is big, and it typically brings people together.
I think the key takeaway to this is that the Super Bowl is something that many people watch and care about. I see a lot of people post about it when it comes to the time of the year. Oh my gosh, football, kind of stuff vibe. And I think many people that are interested in like the pop culture and want to know what's going on in the world, that's definitely an important thing to them. To wrap this up, what is the most surprising thing that you learned about researching this topic, Honesty?
I would say the most important thing that I learned is that people are saying that Bad Bunny's not American enough, which is like kind of crazy to say. I don't know. I think it's just weird and crazy over like a halftime show performance. It's not really that long, is it? It's only like maybe 30 minutes probably. It's just like a small little thing. So I think that calling him not American enough because you don't want him to perform is a little out.
And then what is one key idea we want our listeners to walk away with, Serena?
I mean, I think that we just shouldn't be judging people for what they want to do and with their lives, and people should be able to make the choices that they want. I mean, it's not always your business whether someone decides to support the LGBTQ or sing in Spanish. Sometimes people just do what they want to do, and that should be okay.
To wrap this up, Kayla, what questions do you have about the topic that we don't have an answer to?
I think a big question for me was I want to know the process of how they choose the performers, because obviously, like we said earlier in the podcast, it's usually more up and coming performers or smaller performers who don't have like super big fan bases. But I also just want to know, how do they select it? How do they choose if it's too niche? How do they choose if it's too popular? How do they choose, who's going up there despite backlash? Because let's face it, every year there's backlash. So I just wonder how they choose the performer every year.
Overall, what do you all think about the situation? Well, all right, mother duckers, we have reached the end of today's pod. Thank you for swimming for our pond, and we hope to see you listening again soon. This has been Ducks in a Row podcast. Until next time.